democracy in this country, and we then looking at the eventuality of some members of parliament who the Azimio coalition is put on the red spot for having crossed over the other side? That indeed now we do expect that the chairman of the National House Business, that is Moses Wetangula, would come in again and make a fresh ruling and say, so and so and so and so, please, I've declared your political party is vacant, please go back and seek the people's mandate on your new allegiance. Because there are people around Raila Amolo Odinga who are very bitter now. Case in point, the likes of Murade, the likes of Jeremiah Kioni, who have befallen that route that they think it's government interference into the Jubilee Party affairs. Is it time for us to start saying, well, that some people are going to find themselves out after these negotiations? Which is why the Standard this morning said one thing. It is fears and jitters on exactly what these negotiations are going to look like by the end of the day.
Sometimes they say before you point a finger at someone, you have to look internally.
Yes.
I was a member of Jubilee at one point, and I've always said that story, that Jubilee in itself, 2017, was not democratic. I paid party fees, and they ended up giving a direct ticket to someone, and I was never refunded my money. So right now, Jubilee is being fought for by Azimio or ODM, whatever, the coalition.
Yes.
But what am I trying to say? I won't say maybe what was the agreement or the pre-election coalition agreement of Azimio, but I'm assuming that after 6 months you can decide where you want to go. It's now over 6 months. People have a right in Jubilee. If it was on the 6 months basis, people in Jubilee have a right to decide, are we going to stay in this marriage, or are we going to get divorced? Are we going to leave? And the people you've mentioned who are in Jubilee, sorry to say, maybe they're feeling we lost seats, we have no position now, we want to be relevant, and that is the tragedy I've been speaking about. If the economy was working, someone would go back to what they were doing instead of looking for relevance in a political party that has decided we are not going to be in Azimio, we are the ones in the National Assembly, they are mistreating us. Remember, I hope my mic is okay.
Yeah, it is.
Remember,
yeah.
In Azimio, Jubilee is the second party with more seats in National Assembly.
Yes.
But the position of deputy leader of minority has gone to Wiper. So the Jubilee people have been complaining that they're being disrespected, that they brought so much on the table and they're not given their respect. So I believe if the agreement, the pre-election coalition agreement was 6 months, they have a right to choose where to go. And I don't think the speaker can say that your positions are vacant. If that was the case, I don't know.
Yes.
Mambo is in Jubilee, tell us. But let me say this. On the issue of respecting political parties, let me tell anyone in Kenya Kwanza and Azimio, they have numbers in the National Assembly. The Office of the Registrar of Political Parties is established on Article 260 of the Constitution. It means they get funding from the Exchequer, which is distributed by who? The National Assembly. True? Right now, if they are really deliberate about strengthening political parties, they should add the budget to the Office of the Registrar of Political Parties. If you pick your phone right now and do the USSD *509#, you want to leave a party, you want to join a party, is not possible. Why? The contractors who do that job have not been paid. There's an issue of budgetary. Look at IBC. People who are observers or who are agents in the previous by-election of Bungoma have never been paid, and they're always writing the conversation on Facebook that you guys have never paid us. And IBC tells us that it's a budgetary issue. So if you want to strengthen, where are you dividing money? Where are you giving budgets? Is the National Assembly. Go and do it there. So what I'm saying, all this conversation by the ruling class, because they've been there from 2007, from 1992, and I was a 5-year-old, we've always seen these people there in that conversation of politics. We need to just change the conversation. We need a different agenda. So on the issue of political parties, one, look at yourself internally. Are you democratic as a party internally before you ask for you to be saved by other parties? But Chamsingi, Article 260 gives us Office of the Registrar of Political Parties. Can they strengthen that office first so that we can know these people are deliberate about strengthening political parties?
Yes, pretty much. We have 4 minutes, but they're telling me they're working on your mic as we speak right now. On the aspect of representation and inclusivity, that's why, again, we got to talk about fine. There's also another side for the entrenchment of the office of the opposition, which you would like to think, Dr. Mwangi, from where you said it this morning, was that you said we are not locking you out. All we are saying is that we want you to make it easy for us to start up that office of the opposition so that we can actually have it as a functional running office in this country. Good, tick. But then on representation, You said you would like to think it means that any other person in this country can essentially get picked to a top government job in this particular country. Fine, Dr. Mwangi. But on representation and inclusivity in the government, does it not mean that we, the people in the opposition, also deserve a number in this government? Because the question that you asked this morning, what were the likes of Mother Karua go? What were the likes of Eugene Wamae go? What were the likes of Jeremiah Kioni go now, when we do know that they form the opposition heavily in this particular government? Does it not mean that I also come with my guys? What do they get?
Now, we have been there before, have we not? What was Nusumkate about? Right? What was, especially Nusumkate, the opposition literally joined the government. There was no longer very strong opposition. Never mind that it was one of the best performing government in terms of delivery. The handshake created disharmony. Now, maybe my answer to this question is my belief, and I hope that I represent many people. My belief is that for this country to move forward properly, we need a working government and we need a strong opposition. Therefore, entrenching the office of official leader of opposition is a good thing. Wasn't this in the BBI? Yes, it was. The American Constitution that we adopted, where winner takes it all, we have tried it. Where have we ended? With conflict every 5 years. Let us create a structure where whoever is number 2 in terms of votes gets an office where he can check the government.